We're on a real buzz at Rogers Arena, as you'd expect, with the Stanley Cup champions in town, and the Canucks feeling better about their game after a 6-goal explosion here against Columbus last night. No lineup changes for Vancouver, but a significant one for Chicago, as Marian Hossa had to leave the team this morning to go home to Chicago to attend to a family matter. So Sheldon Brookbank, a defenseman, steps in to fill the breach at forward. Rick Ball with Kelly Rudy in the call of the game.
Two busiest goalies in the league going at it tonight. Corey Crawford between the pipes for the Chicago Blackhawks. His 22nd appearance at the other end. Roberto Luongo making his 21st appearance for the Vancouver Canucks, who bumped a slump last night. Knocked off Columbus 6-2 to break a 5-game losing skid. Top line against top line to start this game in Vancouver. It's Henrik Sedin against Jonathan Toews on the faceoff. And we are underway at Rogers Arena as Henrik Sedin wins the draw. Tanev drops it off to Hamhuis. Up to Daniel. He bumped a personal slump last night as well. Gets the puck in, knocked down along the boards, and it's cleared back out by Chicago as Chris Tanev goes to it. Launched by Toews. Henrik to Hamhuis. Fires the puck in and around. Crawford out of the goal to leave it for Keith. A little miscommunication. They cough it up in the corner. Daniel Sedin steals to Henrik. Nice play out front to Kessler. He fanned on the shot, trying to pull it backhand forehand. And out comes Sharp through center ice. Rubbed off the play by Tanev into the corner to Luongo's right. Puck goes behind the net. Tanev gets control there. Slides it ahead to Daniel. Out to Ryan Kessler. Now Henrik stops. Daniel in the circle, turns back for Henrik, tipped out to center ice by Bollig. Gets around Henrik and able to chip the puck to the Vancouver line, but it winds up in the Canucks bench for a whistle.
What a great start for Chris Tanev on this play against one of the most dangerous players one-on-one. Patrick Sharp coming at him right here, takes away his ice, doesn't get fooled by that inside move by Patrick Sharp. That is just absolutely textbook hockey right there, and that's why John Tortorella raves about the youngster.
Yeah, they got Tanev, undrafted player, signed him as a free agent out of the Rochester Institute of Technology, and he has blossomed into a very reliable defenseman. Not a big point producer, but just solid on the back end, Kelly. So smart.
It's actually a little surprising he doesn't get more points considering his talent level and the way that he can move the puck.
Blackhawks control. Hjalmarsson slowly ahead, fires the puck up the near boards. And that goes for icing, although Brandon Peary complains about it. Faceoff will go back to the Chicago end.
Well, you knew it was only a matter of time until some of these players on Vancouver Canucks were going to break out of their slump, and that was the case yesterday with Daniel Sedin. 6-game scoring slump, and take a look at his work last night. Pretty impressive, Rick, and boy, did they have a lot of chances.
They turned up the heat against Columbus. Yeah, he hadn't had a scoring slump more than 6 games since December of 2003 when he went 10 without a point. So
I'd say that's pretty good consistency.
It's a long run of a steady play by the Twins, and he was feeling a little frustrated, but they bounced back last night. See if that carries over tonight against a Chicago team that scores a lot and gives up a lot this season, Kelly. That's a bit of a change from last year. Hawks go to work in the offensive zone. Here's Kane. Plays it to the slot. A shot. Nice stop by Luongo. Bit of a change up by Versteeg. As Kane set him up, Luongo makes his first save with a glove.
Hey, and he made the first save. That happens to be a pretty important topic of conversation here in Vancouver. You can see that was actually a really difficult shot to save. Bit of a knuckleballer right there, and I can tell you from my experience, when you start to give up the first shot of the game, I don't care how experienced or inexperienced, you start to think about it.
And it happened again last night for Luongo.
Although he might argue it might have been the second shot. It's pretty hard to say.
He made the save, but he thinks it bounced in off one of his other players after the initial stop. So he gets us on a technicality on that one. Brookbank in the lineup tonight because Marian Hossa had to fly back to Chicago to deal with a family matter. Hossa got back in the lineup last game for Chicago after missing 3 with an injury. Brookbank playing up front tonight. Will cycle it behind the net.
He can be a pretty good forward.
A little too far for Shaw. Puck played to the line and out. Brookbank pocket pick. Richardson plays it across. Here's Hansen of the line. Puck for Richardson. Pull it just wide. Looking for the redirect. Richardson couldn't get a stick to it. Roosevelt hit by Richardson. Hansen Out with Kessler and Richardson now as the Canucks are midway through a change, and now they'll get the Twins out to join Kessler on that top line. They were not split up very long last night. Well, 10 minutes into the game, Tortorella pulled the trigger, put them back together, and it worked.
I liked it too. He said that it didn't feel like it was going right, and we were here, Rick, last night. I know you worked the game. They just did not have much chemistry, and so he went back to the ones that they're familiar with.
Hjalmarsson with a shot that goes wide, with Taves looking for a redirect. Loose puck in the corner. Saad gets it back to Hjalmarsson. Works it across, looking for a lane. Fires it wide intentionally, looking for a big bounce off the inboard. Saad gets it right wing. Cross-ice pass. Oduya works it down low. Pass out front is blocked by Tanev on a good play. Kessler will feed it ahead to Daniel. Out to Henrik at center ice. Canucks captain pokes it in. And that will start a change as Saad goes back to it for Chicago. Saad gets it ahead. Bollig tips it in. Chases after Garrison. Edler watched by Kruger in the corner. Santorelli there as well, helping out. So is Bollig as he stays on the forecheck. Comes back to Edler, still tied up by Kruger. Santorelli bumped by Bollig. Santorelli makes the play behind the net to Garrison. White Rock BC native feeds it ahead to Burrows. He finds Edler jumping up on the play. Edler over the line with a shot on goal, kicked away by Crawford. Play back to Edler. Long shot through traffic. Redirect by Burrows. Stopped by Crawford. Got the left pad out. Bollig carries to center for Chicago. End of his shift. Plays it in. Heads off on a change. Past the 4-minute mark of a scoreless game here in Vancouver. First of 3 meetings this season. Canucks went 2-0-1 against Chicago last year. Rolstafall plays it ahead. Pirri out to center ice. Lost the puck at the line. Fights to get it back. Hamhuis watches in. Henrik comes in to help, and the puck squirts straight at Daniel Sedina. Carries out the center. Spinorama backhand pass looking for Bieksa. Down the wing with a quick shot. Stopped by Crawford. Bouncing puck. Pirri plays it ahead, and the Hawks break back. Here comes Kane. Always dangerous with Versteeg. Kane with a spinorama on the backhand. Put it off the outside of the net. Taves joins them now. Heads into the forecheck, but Chicago captain had it taken away by the Canucks captain. Sedin line out late in the shift. Some tired legs out for Vancouver. Hawks try to take advantage, but good work by Ryan Kessler to work the puck in. Canucks start a change. Hawks work back the other way. Sharp with Taves. Garrison ties up Sharp. Takes the puck away. Puts it off the boards, and the Canucks work it out. Burrows leads the way. Ahead to Santorelli. Cuts wide on Keith. Santorelli out front. Burrows couldn't handle the pass. Hopped off his stick before he could shoot it. Here goes Sharp. Into the zone with a snapshot that goes off a stick to the corner. Saad puts it down low for Sharp. Works it up the near boards. Cycles it behind the net for Shaw. Shaw wrap around off the outside of the post. Santorelli gets the loose puck. Settles things down and finds Jason Garrison. Plays it to an open wing and heads off on a change as Duncan Keith takes it away. Quick pass to Shaw, trying to spring him through the D. Couldn't take the puck. And the Canucks break back the other way. Tom Sestito. Into the zone. Had his stick lifted by Morin. Knocked him down. We're calling the play as the Hawks turn it back up ice. Nick Leddy will dump it in.
Pace is quick, but not much happening in terms of quality scoring chances yet.
Yeah, lots of back and forth. You're right, Kelly. Good tempo. Leddy at center. Fires one in wide of the goal. Chicago will change. Hawks in the middle of a 7-game road trip. The Canucks go after him. Richardson will take off the icing call. Waits for his line mates to join him. Stanton pinches him from the point. Richardson still battling behind the net. Puck goes to Kassian. Zach Kassian plays it to the near side. Ryan Stanton, who was Hawks property before the Canucks picked him up on waivers, pops it up, and back comes Chicago. Pirri through center. Drop pass to Kane. Pirri with a shot. Luongo with a glove save, and he's able to hang on. Lots of tempo, no goals. Just past the 6-minute mark of the first period. In Vancouver, this is Hockey Night in Canada. This season, Kelly, Roberto Luongo started on back-to-back nights. He played last night, and as a result, didn't take the skate this morning, and that's rare for him when he starts a game.
Which led to all sorts of speculation that Eddie Lack was going to get his start versus the Chicago Blackhawks, but no. And it was obvious during the morning skate, Eddie Lack had all sorts of work, and Luongo and Corey Crawford, two of the most busy, or the busiest goaltenders in the league right now, and based on inexperience by Eddie Lack and poor play by Habibulin before he was injured.
You said once Eddie Lack was out there at the skate this morning for over an hour, you said he's not starting tonight.
Well, even the drills, I could tell about half an hour into it that these aren't the kind of drills that a starting goalie likes in practice.
Ryan Kesler with the puck, chips it past to Duya, who cuts him off. Kessler goes for the puck in the corner. Try to feed it behind the net for Daniel. Now it's stolen by Henrik with a shot up high, and Crawford bouncing rebound swept to the corner by Oduya. Kessler taken down there. Penalty coming up as Johnny Oduya got the cross check on Ryan Kesler. And the Canucks will get the first power play of the game. 7 minutes, 12 seconds into the first period.
Ryan Kesler last night took a bad penalty in the first period, and he draws this penalty right here. Goes to the boards, and you can see that he's leaning over at that point, and Johnny Oduya shoves him at around the hips, and there's no chance that Kesler can regain his balance at that point.
Boarding is the call. Canucks power play, which has been a real head scratcher this year with all that scoring talent they can throw out there. They have the second worst power play in the league, functioning at just 10.7%. Good news for Vancouver fans. Chicago's got the second worst penalty kill. Talk about head scratchers.
This should be a fun 2 minutes or less.
It's the resistible force against the movable object. Ryan Kesler to Daniel Sedin. Henrik works it down the boards. Ran into Seabrook. The Tsawwassen BC native gets the puck, turns up ice, and fires it to the Vancouver end. Edler back to it. He had a goal last night. Drop pass to Henrik, to Kesler. Kesler over the line with a wrister wide of the goal. Puck comes to Daniel. Pressured by Saad. Leaves it for Henrik, back to Daniel. Tight quarters, trying to get it back to Henrik. Did. To the line to Kesler. Cross ice, Burrows. Burrows snapshot. Henrik couldn't get a redirect. 4 forwards out there for Vancouver. Burrows in front of the goal. Here's Henrik down low. Kesler top of the circle. Daniel in the corner. Henrik missed the pass. Edler try to play it out front, blocked by Taves. Henrik, Daniel, off the boards, back to Kesler. Daniel, Burrows, lots of play around the outside, but nothing out front yet on this power play. 43 seconds left in it. Saad gets the puck and plays it down the ice.
Very little organization on that.
Second unit out for the Canucks. See what they can get going here. Higgins carries over the line. Nice pass to Hansen. Good check by Keith to poke it away, and Seabrook will turn it up ice. Smith with Kruger and Seabrook shorthanded. Smith cuts wide on Garrison, trying to get out front with a shot. And Luongo got a pad on that. A good shorthanded chance there for Ben Smith. Luongo made the save. 10 seconds left in the power play. Here goes Garrison into the zone. Dumps the puck deep. Seabrook back to it, plays it ahead, a bouncer to the line, not out. Bieksa, Garrison, slap shot, glove save. Crawford couldn't hang on to it. Kruger clears. Penalty over. Oduya out of the box. Just one shot on goal for the Canucks.
And the best chance was the Ben Smith chance for Chicago.
Santorelli back in. Rosabal got the stick in, pulled it out in time. Higgins gets the puck back to the line, missed Bieksa with a pass, and it goes all the way down the ice. Shots 5 apiece here, and a scoreless first. Zach Kassian, Chris Tanev. Now Sestito out front for Brad Richardson. To Sestito on the back, shoots, stopped by Crawford. Got the left pad down, and Tom Sestito that close to opening the scoring. As we get some pushing and shoving after the whistle. Cassie and Shaw talk to each other. Almost a fourth line goal for the Vancouver Canucks. Sestito gets out front.
Great hands. Last time we did a game with Vancouver and LA Kings, Tom Sestito hit the crossbar twice. So he's shown the ability to have some pretty good hands, and that was just an excellent save by Corey Crawford, moving hard from his right to his left.
Well, a murder case leads to a suspect named Jacob Doyle. Republic of Doyle's Alan Hocko guest stars on an all-new Murdoch Mysteries. That's Monday at 8 on CBC TV. Tom Sestito plays a certain role in this team. Most teams have a guy like him. He was an outstanding scorer in junior with the Plymouth Whalers. He had 42 goals in his final year.
That does not surprise me. He has shown an ability, some pretty good hands.
Yeah. I think what you find as well for a lot of tougher guys, bigger guys, when they get to that 19-year-old season in junior hockey, nobody wants to touch him. And they can stand in front of the goal and swat pucks into the net. But he's got very good hands for a guy who's considered more of a tough guy. Toews works it in. Here's Roosevelt at the line. Leddy now with room to shoot up high. Luongo may have taken that off the shoulder. It bounces off him off the glass. Kept onside by Roosevelt. Sharp with a slap shot through traffic. Luongo makes the save. And he's able to cover up. Scoreless game. 9:40 left in the first. Canucks in Chicago on CBC.
Stanton's been able to do with the Canucks. He's in our Subway Restaurants bio. He was undrafted after playing in Moose Jaw. Hawks signed him as a free agent after 3 years in the organization. They were hoping to sneak him through on waivers at the end of September, but the Canucks claimed him, and Stanton's played in every game here. Close to 14 minutes a night. Last night +3, had 3 assists in the Canucks win over Columbus, after which he said, "I'd have been happy with 3 points all season, but he's certainly been worth the gamble on the waiver wire as he makes the most of his first real shot in the NHL." Rick.
Thank you, Scott. Second highest scoring rookie defenseman in the NHL right now. What a great pickup for Vancouver. Santorelli works the puck in. Turns to the boards. Here's Burrows. Watched by Duncan Keith. Twisting and turning. Alex Burrows to the forehand. Keith cuts him off. And the puck's taken away. Perry gets it ahead, and Versteeg brings it out. Garrison at his own line. Coughed it up. Here's Versteeg playing out front for Kane, and it was knocked off Kane's stick on a good poke check by Luongo. With Kane standing all alone at the top of the crease after the giveaway at the blue line. Hjalmarsson took a hit from Edler. Knocked him down. Kane plays the puck down low for Toews. Checked by Garrison. Santorelli pokes it ahead. Canucks aren't out of trouble yet as the Hawks go to work. Kane out there right now with Toews and Versteeg. Here's Toews up front to Kane. Pass deflected. Loose in the slot. Santorelli gets control, and he'll flip it out to safety.
Good defense by Vancouver. All collapse down low in front of Luongo and take away that middle ice that Tortorella is so passionate about.
Here comes Saad into the zone. Trying to feed it out front to Toews, rather. That was blocked by Hamhuis, and he makes a play ahead of Danielson out to Tanev on the rush. Fires the puck in. Hjalmarsson bumped by Henry. Puck comes back to Hamhuis. Waits for traffic. Shoots. Stopped by Crawford. Steers the puck into the corner. Bounces between the feet of Henrik Sedin. That allows the Hawks to take control, and Brandon Saad carries out the center ice. Bank pass for Sharp too far. No icing on the play. Tanev back to it. Sharp steals. Comes out front. Knocked away in the last second from Sean. A good play by Daniel Sedin. That line at the end of a shift. They head to the bench for a change as Seabrook goes back to the loose puck at his own blue line. Brent Seabrook. Brooke fires the puck in. Partial fan, but gets the job done. Cassian to it on the near board. Shaw bumps him. Hamhuis over to Bieksa. Yannick Hansen can't clear. Duncan Keith keeps it in. Morin throws it out front. Loose puck. Shaw couldn't get a stick on it. Luongo poked that away. That's goalie's been active with his stick. Jeremy Morin to a loose puck. Chicago turning up the heat here the last couple of shifts. Now Roosevelt at the right point. And he brought the puck outside the blue line, then played it back in offside.
John Tortorella talks a lot about his defensemen and take away the middle of the ice, especially when he talks about Kevin Bieksa. But others don't run, don't chase, and here's a great example of what Vancouver does well defensively in their own zone. Stay in the middle, take away the dangerous part of the ice, and that's why they're so good defensively. Boy, what a career he's had. National Hockey League, 422 career regular season wins. Wow, that's a pretty good number.
And people in this market, Kelly, have been waiting for the full Tortorella. You know, the legendary Ranson explosions. He's been very cool, and if anything, you thought when they'd lost 5 in a row, especially after a very disappointing effort against Florida a couple of games ago, you might see it. But I think there's a conscious effort on his part to not live up to that reputation.
I know one thing, he's very good with us.
He's been excellent with the media.
Sense of humor, everything.
Canucks try to go to work in the offensive zone. Puck cleared ahead. Here's an odd man rush. Down the left wing is Pirri. Has Kane with him. Pirri to Kane. Kane shoots. Luongo with the save. And he's able to hang on. His best stop of the first period.
You better be very careful when you pinch against Chicago, because they will take a turnover and create scoring opportunities, and that's exactly what happened. Garrison pinched down low. Higgins couldn't keep the puck in the Chicago zone, and it led to this 2-on-1. And you can see Luongo, perfect position there, top of the crease. I think Patrick Kane wanted to go a little bit higher on that one, but Luongo had, for the most part, the lower part of the net covered.
Joe Quenneville telling us today, you were saying about Pirri getting a chance to play with Kane. He said, "Boy, what's the secret?" He goes, "Give Kane the puck," which is what he did there. And it led to a good scoring chance. Hey, take your game to the next level with Hockey Night Second Screen. Interact and compete for prizes. You can be part of our broadcast. Join us. Go to cbcsports.ca/second screen.
Sticking to that story, I asked, well, why do they have good chemistry? Because he knows to get Kane the puck. Very simple.
Quenneville saying Kane's good for 2 to 3 grade A scoring chances a game, and I think you'd count that one as
Absolutely.
one of them. Comes in the game on a 9-game point streak. Right now it's the Taves line out there for Chicago. The Canucks take the puck away, and Daniel will clear the zone. Slides it softly into Chicago's end. Aduya back to it. Taves clears. Bieksa will fire it back in. Canucks have to tag up and do. Both teams start a change. Inside 6 minutes to go, scoreless first period. Here comes Shaw. Looking for Brookbank. Lost it. Kept onside by Morin. To Shaw behind the net. Tanev watching him. Brookbank helps out with a pass out front. Missed Morin. Leddy at the line. Long shot didn't get through. Hit traffic in the slot. Morin plays it out front. Dale Weiss able to pick off that pass and clear the zone. And he'll give chase. Brookbank beats him to it. Weiss stays on the puck though. Comes back to the line. Tanev works it across. Weak backhander. Cut off in the slot by Roosevelt. And here's Morin to Shaw. 4 Hawks through center. Shaw, weak shot, easy save, Luongo. Rebound to the corner. Puck chipped back towards the end boards. Taken away by Tanev. He's had a good first period. And Weiss will flip the puck softly into the zone and head off on a change.
Terrific first period by Tanev.
Versteeg back in Chicago. Fires the puck in. Yannick Hansen can't get it out. Kane on it for Chicago. Knocked away from him, and Castian gets control. Now Hansen gives chase. Keep to it first. Such a great skater, but he copped it up to Richardson. Down low for Hansen. Versteeg able to clear. Good draw weight by Chris Versteeg. No icing on the play. Zach Kassian popped it up. Versteeg steals. Kane out front. Aduya with a shot. Excuse me. Pirri with a shot. That goes off the outside of the net. Richardson gets the puck. Can't get it out. Pirri keeps it in. Here's Kane. Sharp angle. Trying to bank it in. Luongo hugs the post and makes the save.
Luongo read that all the way.
Hawks buzzing. Versteeg. Kane. Keith. Shot blocked. Puck comes outside the zone. Shots now 11-7 Chicago, and back they come. That rush broken up. Yannick Hansen to Burrows. Alex Burrows carries in with Santorelli. Burrows cuts to the middle of the ice. Forced wide by Aduya. Tried to get it out front. Pass was blocked as Burrows goes down. Bollig able to clear. Chris Tanev back to it. But Burrows tips it in. Johnny Aduya. Smith trying to get it out. He had a good shorthanded chance earlier in this period. Hawks able to clear. Hamhuis will get it ahead quickly to Santorelli over the line. Now Higgins gives chase. Santorelli back to Hamhuis. He gone to the middle of the ice. Puck gets past him all the way down. Both teams changing as we approach the final 3 minutes of the opening period. Hamhuis up to Daniel, who tips it in. Kessler on the forecheck. Duncan Keith back to it. Ahead to Taves, and the Hawks captain gets it out to Sharp. Saad with him, missed him with a pass. The extra first man back. Edler now, up to Kessler. Now Henrik will carry out. In over the line on the right side. Nice play to kick it up to his own stick, but it was cut off by Seabrook, kept onside by Bieksa. Stolen by Saad. He'll get it out to Sharp. And we've got a penalty coming up here. A slashing call. It's like Chicago's going on the power play as Ryan Kessler is headed off. Oh no, it's going to be a Chicago penalty. Canucks on the power play, and we come back to Vancouver on CBC. Well, Kelly, the Chicago Blackhawks have sort of taken over the flow of the play here in the last minute or so, but the Canucks get a chance to get some momentum back with the power play. The second penalty drawn by Ryan Kessler in this first period.
Yeah, they just have to do some real simple things on this power play, and that includes outmanning the Chicago Blackhawks on the puck. And retrieve pucks and get, like this, pucks to the point and get pucks to the net after.
Kessler feeds it out front for Henrik. He had his pocket pick. Smith able to tie up a stick, and Hjalmarsson clears the zone. So we talk about the Canucks' woes on the power play this season. Came into the game just 10.7%, second worst. Hawks have the second worst penalty kill. Here's Henrik into the zone, trying to cut out front, forced behind the net. Again, it's that 4-forward look for Vancouver. Edler with a one-timer, deflected on goal. Crawford down, able to make the save and squeeze the puck for a face-off.
You know, you have to give the opposing goaltender some credit, too, for where the Vancouver power play sits. You look at Corey Crawford right here with Burrows right in front. That's an excellent deflection, but that's just a positional save right here. The net cam brought to you by LASIK, and that's a perfect view of it right there. Corey Crawford doing everything he can with that big body to be positionally sound.
Taves against Kessler, scramble draw. Daniel races through to get the puck back to Edler. Henrik now to Daniel. Burrows is out front. Kessler on the near boards. Henrik on the far side. Has the puck. Edler at the line. Kessler in the circle. Takes his time with the puck. Fan on a pass, picked off by Seabrook. And Jonathan Taves breaks up. Has Shaw with him. Shaw takes down Daniels, or make that Henrik Sedin coming back on the back check. He hung a leg out, and the Canucks will have a 5-on-3 with 1:04 left in the first Chicago penalty, Kelly.
Andrew Shaw is a terrific player because he knows usually just where to get to before he crosses the line. And on this is an example of where this is just really a bad penalty that he can't afford to take. There's no question about that. But normally, Andrew Shaw just gets right up to that line and doesn't cross it, and he can be a tough player to play against. That was a poor decision, though.
Now, he says he likens his game to Brad Marchand's game.
Great comparison.
But went over the line there, especially when it looked like they might have had a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Instead, it's a 5-on-3 for the Canucks late in the first. Garrison's out there on the power play, and he'll get the puck. Lengthy two-man advantage. Daniel, Henrik, Garrison, Henrik, Kessler had to take it off a skate. Back to Daniel, Kessler, Garrison, one-timers, pad save, rebound, score! Ryan Kessler puts it in. 10th of the season for him, and the Canucks open the scoring late in the first.
I know the Canucks have wanted Garrison to hit the net more. Here's an example of it, and because he has such a hard shot, Corey Crawford can't control the rebound, but that's what Garrison has to do. Get it through traffic, and then at that point, it's jump ball for that puck, because a goaltender, I don't care who you are, if you're the Stanley Cup winning goalie like Corey Crawford, when he puts that kind of shot on, you know, people talk about controlling your rebound. Sometimes the only thought you have is making it safe. Forget about where the rebound goes.
So Kessler gets the goal. Garrison snaps a 14-game pointless drought, and the Canucks open the scoring, and they stay on the power play here. Another minute and a half left in the penalty to Shaw.
And that's a good lesson for him. It was a simple play.
Yep.
You don't have to do anything special to break a scoring slump. Just do what you're supposed to.
Dump in, takes a Chicago ricochet off the glass right to Taves, who fires it down the ice. Garrison and Daniel Sedin with the helpers as we hit the final minute of play in the first. Higgins down the wing, second unit out for the Canucks. Keith steals the puck, plays it to Smith, that goes off his skate and out. Kevin Bieksa, the gunslinger, fires the puck in. What Tortorella calls him.
I know he did. I like that term too.
Smith able to fire it down the ice. Shots 11-10 in favor of Chicago. Bieksa to Henrik Sedin. First unit coming out for Vancouver again. Daniel tied up along the boards, and a good play by Saad. Hjalmarsson makes a nice pass to Bollig, but he can't clear it past Edler. Edler over to Garrison. Garrison feeling it. Back to Edler. 10 seconds left in the period. Here's Daniel with a shot through traffic, put it just wide. Garrison activates from the point. Puck comes near side. Poke to the line and out, and that'll do it. So a fast tempo first period comes to an end. A late power play goal for Vancouver. They're up by 1.
I think both teams are happy at that. Even though Vancouver's up 1, I thought both teams had some pretty decent scoring opportunities. And good goaltending at both ends.
Kessler's 10th of the year, the only goal so far in this one. Canucks 1, Hawks no scores. We head back to Studio 42. Ron MacLean and Don Cherry.
1-0 heading for the second period. Wasn't a bad period by any stretch for the Hawks. Take away 5-on-3 goal, which by the way was the first 5-on-3 goal for the Canucks this season. Chicago assistant coach Jamie Kompon says the only thing to dislike about his team's first period was what he called undisciplined buzzkill penalties. The message to the Hawks between periods was stay out of the box, play 5-on-5, and we'll be fine. Rick?
Thank you, Scott. And the buzz killer Andrew Shaw is still in the penalty box for another 10 seconds. He took that second penalty that led to the 5-on-3 that led to the goal, but time ticks off as the third period's underway. Shaw's out of the box. Canucks are 1 for 3 on the power play. Hawks play it up the boards, not out. Tanev over to Henrik with a shot from the point. Stop, rebound, hops over the stick of Kessler in between his legs. Shaw through center, over the line, made one too many moves, and Taves stepped offside.
Jonathan Taves, of course, he and Patrick Kane, the two most dangerous Chicago Blackhawks, but the Vancouver Canucks did a great job in that first period containing Taves. Taves had no shots. That he did play 7 minutes and 23 seconds, so a lot of ice time. But Vancouver, of course, they have their eye on him, and they're going to make sure that if he gets opportunities, hopefully they're from the outside, because he is one talented guy that has no weaknesses whatsoever.
Yeah, the Winnipeg Jets had a tough time containing Taves. In Chicago's last game, he had a 4-point night back in his hometown. A second trip back, he was pointless earlier this season. Good news for Taves is he didn't have to buy quite as many tickets for the second game back. He's at 45 tickets for the first trip into Winnipeg as a National Hockey League.
That's a lot. I don't care how much you're making.
You're right, it adds up pretty quick. If you're making millions with the ticket prices and pro sports today. Here comes Stanton down the wing with a shot into Crawford. He's able to make the save and hang on.
Corey Crawford, one thing I learned about him last year during the playoffs is that if he let in a bad goal or if he had a bad period, he became defiant, and I love that attitude. He became a fighter and wasn't going to give into it. You know, you go back to that Detroit series where there's a goal on the glove hand side that people were really criticizing, and he stood up right after the game and the next day, and nope, you know what, I'm not going to be bothered by that, and that's a sign of a real champion.
People talked about his glove being a weakness in that series through the playoffs, and that weakness took him all the way to the Stanley Cup. Here comes Taves down the wing. Out front, Oduya with a shot, put it wide. Tried to go top corner, glove side, missed the net. Edler there to clear the zone. Seabrook slides it back in. Edler picks it off. Big Swede gets it as far as the line. Santorelli dumps it in, but Burrows is early in on the right wing, and a whistle blows on an offside call.
Chicago Blackhawks are hoping you're going to make a poor decision. In this case, Edler does. He's going to be a little bit too aggressive right there with the pinch because there's nobody backing him up, and you do not want to give the Chicago Blackhawks 2-on-1s or 3-on-2s. So it's good to be aggressive, but you better make sure that you have a teammate protecting you.
Sedin's out there against the second line for the Hawks. Versteeg at center ice. Wires it in and around high. Hamhuis cuts it off on the far side. Smithers native, former Prince George Cougar, tries to clear, can't get it out. Kept onside, shot put just wide of the goal. Kessler trying to get the puck out. Cut off by Peary, but now Henrik takes control. Ryan Kessler works it over the line. Here's Henrik top of the circle. Daniel down low up front for Kessler, tipped on goal, stopped by Crawford. Bouncing rebound goes to Hamhuis, and he's stopped by Crawford too as the puck comes outside the zone. Good job by Hamhuis to get a shot away on that puck. Here comes Kane, making moves on the backhand, put it wide. Oduya fakes, plays the puck to the corner instead to Kane. Off his skate, back to Oduya, knocked away from him by Kessler, kept in by Kane. Versteeg, checked by Henrik. Still battling for the puck though. Shaw gets it to Hjalmarsson. His shot hit Shaw in the back of the leg. Shaw battling for it, knocked away from him, and Daniel will clear the zone and head to the bench and a change.
Yeah, definitely a little tired. That's a good play. Just dump it in behind Hjalmarsson and get that change.
Hjalmarsson ahead, looking for Morin. Couldn't get it. Shaw bats the puck in. Bieksa whips it around to the far side. Sestito had a great chance in the first period for the Canucks to open the scoring. Can't clear the zone. Hawks keep it in. Brookbank with a shot, a bouncer on goal. Luongo has to be sharp to get that with the right pad and cover up the rebound.
Some pretty good scoring opportunities here early in the second period. Vancouver had 2. Kessler gets himself in good position and then has a stick available right there. Nice little deflection. And as you said, Rick, with Hamhuis getting himself in position, get that shot. But Luongo right there reading Shaw in front, trying to get close to him right there, taking away the ability for the puck to change direction by very much. And that's just good reading of the play by Luongo. You can sure see that his experience shining through right there. But that's what Andrew Shaw does best also, like Alex Burrows standing in front of the opposition goalie and making it really difficult to find that puck.
Face off to the left of Luongo. Richardson on the draw against Taves. It's a win for Richardson with some help. He's been very good on face-offs for the Canucks, but they can't clear. Keith keeps it onside. Nice pass to Taves down low. Throws it out front. Stopped by Luongo. Stone Saad got a good chance in front of the goal. Here comes Jannik Hansen out to center. Hansen dumps the puck in, steered away by Crawford, and the puck goes out of play. Well, you look in the first period, Kelly, the Sedin line with Kessler, their ice time was outrageous. Kessler played 8 minutes and 59 seconds. Daniel 8:46, Henrik 8:37. I know they had 3 power plays in that period, but maybe we shouldn't be surprised. All 3 of them are in the top 5 of forwards ice time per game in the NHL.
Not surprised, and that's not going to change tonight. Interestingly enough, all 3 of them had the exact same amount of time on the power play at 3:14. So I don't think you see that too often.
Are they all going off in unison? They get played a lot. They love it. There's been some concern in this market about whether it can last for 82 games. But it's not stopping John Tortorella. He likes to use his top guys.
When they're tired, I'm sure he'll rest them.
Here comes Weiss down the wing. Fourth line out. Played out front for Bieksa. He was tied up, and the Hawks try to take advantage, going back the other way, 2-on-1, but Peary missed the pass. And that goes for icing as we throw things back to Scott Oake.
Rick, at the quarter pole, the inequity between the East and the West is one hot topic of conversation, and it is plain to see in the Pacific Division where the Canucks, who began the night with 28 points but were not in a playoff spot, would be 4th overall in the East. So 1 or 2 very good teams could miss the playoffs in this division. It's not like the old days of the Northwest. Now the Canucks need every point they can get just to stay in the race. Still plenty of time, but not a lot of relief in sight with Los Angeles here on Monday night.
Thanks, Scott. The most remarkable thing is that Boston coming into tonight, the Canucks get a chance out front. Burrows is stopped as he put the puck off the outside of the net, trying to go backhand on Crawford. Had the open side. Couldn't tuck it in. Burrows back to work. Looking for his first goal this season. He's had chances. Here's Edler with a shot. Deflected wide. Keith plays it ahead. Peary gets it out. Kane through center, working on Edler. By himself. Line mates changing. Kane tries a pass back. Picked off by Burrows. Garrison plays it ahead. Puck gets to the line. It's poked out by Higgins. Nobody wants it. Santorelli finally drops it off for Garrison. Over to Edler. Ahead for Higgins. Couldn't handle the pass. A bouncer hopped over a stick. Taves whipped on his pass. Gets it back. Here comes Captain Sirius. Into the zone, back to Aduya. Cross ice, Hjalmarsson one-timer. That was off the stick of Kessler wide. Kessler retrieves his stick as Taves gets the puck. Jonathan Taves. To Saad. Hjalmarsson. Slapper off traffic wide of the goal. I got a piece of Kessler, missed the net. And Kessler takes a pass from Santorelli. Trying to feed it out to Daniel. Bouncing puck got away from Kessler, and the Hawks break up that rush. Here comes Saad back into the zone. Down the wing, working on Garrison. Turns. Saad feeds the puck down low to Kruger. Side of the goal for Stieg out front, looking for Seabrook. That was blocked, and Henrik's able to work the puck to the line. Turns and plays it to an open wing. That's trying to make a change, but didn't get it in deep. Here's Versteeg. Counter punching, throws it out front. Seabrook in tight with a shot. Luongo hugs the post and makes the save. Garrison gets control. Daniel tied up. Versteeg almost took it away. Daniel gets it back and clears the zone. Kessler's out of gas. Can't catch up. Seabrook with the puck. Bumped by Kessler. Now finally he turns back to the bench for a change. Kessler's got the only goal in this game. Past the 6-minute mark of the second. Canucks force a turnover at their own line, but the Hawks get it back, and it could be a 2-on-1. Shaw with Versteeg. Shaw gets hooked by Stanton as the puck is blocked, but a penalty coming up to the Canucks. Neutral zone turnover leads to an odd man rush. Ryan Stanton gets the stick in on Shaw. Hawks go on the power play, and we come back to Vancouver on Hockey Night in Canada. Alex Burrows got hurt in the season opener. He's playing in his 13th game, still looking for his first goal, and he got close here.
Pretty good chance right here, but when you're playing against top defenders like Duncan Keith, it certainly isn't going to come easy. And people are talking about Duncan Keith this year, about maybe another Norris Trophy. What a play right here with what patience getting the puck up ice. But Duncan Keith, as we know, won the Norris Trophy in 2010, and people are talking that he might be having a better year so far.
Such a great skater, so smart with the puck. Saw Ryan Stanton in the box. There's a chance on the power play for Taves. Put it wide of the goal. Chicago's first power play of the game, and they came close early in it. Puck to the line, hops over the stick of Sharp and down the ice. Crawford way out of the goal. Plays it to Keith. Sharp. Duncan Keith slowly out of his own zone. Now Kane to Taves. Back for Kane. Comes across to Sharp. Will man the point. Sharp throws it to Taves. It goes off a stick and out of play. Minute 23 to go in the Vancouver penalty.
We just finished talking about Duncan Keith and what he can do. Another example of how he just reads a play right here. Look how low he is right there. Gets a puck to Taves, and Taves just fires it wide. But if Taves wouldn't get that puck if Duncan Keith didn't have the wherewithal to figure out that, you know what, there might be a turnover right here. See the disappointment in Jonathan Taves, such a competitor.
Second unit on the ice for Chicago as they win the faceoff. Seabrook leaves the puck along the boards. Peary, who led the AHL in scoring last year. Now Seabrook at the line. Works it across. His shot blocked, and a good play by Brad Richardson, who clears the zone. Crawford out again. Kessler pressures. Crawford put it behind the net for Leddy. Kessler battling down low. Good job on the PK for Ryan Kessler. Now Saad takes control, and Brandon Saad will skate it out for Chicago. Through the neutral zone over the line. Forced to the boards. Popped it up to Higgins. Leddy trying to keep it onside. Can't tie it up, and Higgins able to work it out. Will backhand the puck into the skates of the linesman. Higgins stays on it. Taken away by Versteeg, who drops it off to Seabrook with 39 seconds left in a Chicago power play that's going up against the #1 penalty kill in the NHL. Seabrook back into the zone. Hamhuis lost his stick, has to retrieve it. Versteeg goes to the puck in the corner. Plays it back to the point to Sharp. Over to Leddy. To Sharp. To Leddy. Pressured by Daniel. Puts it down low for Saad. Trying to feed it up front to Versteeg. Pass blocked by BX on a good play. No fired around the boards and down the ice. And that should pretty much do it. Stanton on his feet at the penalty box door, waiting to step on the ice. Duncan Keith can't get it in. Shaw follows up. Penalty's over. Hawks work the puck into the zone and cough it up to Santorelli. Here's Burrows. Alex Burrows over the line. Backhand pass intercepted by Keith. To Hjalmarsson. Now Shaw. Andrew Shaw down the wing with Taves and Kane. Here's Taves with a shot off the board. Stopped by Luongo. Shaw drives the net. Luongo able to keep that pad on the ice, and he's able to squeeze the puck for a faceoff.
It's time for the Smirnoff Icebreaker. Why not mix a Smirnoff Caesar? Smirnoff Vodka, the official vodka sponsor of the NHL.
Corey Crawford made a good play. You know, one of the things when the puck comes to you and you're out of your net, make sure if you have no play, put it in a spot that's not going to be dangerous. And he does just that. That's a clever play. And he knew at that point the way that with the angles, the boards, Ryan Kessler was not going to get that puck. That was not going to be intercepted. And after that, you just have to trust your teammates are going to win a battle or two. But that was a smart play by Crawford. You know, typically you think a smart play by a goalie playing the puck, it's head manning the puck tape to tape or something. But that clearly was a well thought out play.
Not that it came into effect necessarily on that play, but how do you feel about the trapezoid, Kelly? Yay or nay?
Oh,
you're commissioner for a day.
Nay.
All right.
There's no question about it. Because simply, I think goaltenders can protect their defensemen better without it.
Battle for the puck at the Vancouver line. Stanton gets it out. Slides it ahead for Richardson. Missed the pass. He'll give chase. Hit by Leddy. Versteeg to it. Passes ahead. Perry there. Lifts it high. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone. Roosevelt gets it in. Not deep. Garrison takes it away. Jason Garrison. Long lead pass. Tipped in by Richardson. Canucks start a change. Hansen, lone forechecker. Takes the puck away from Roosevelt out front to Henrik. Wrap around. Crawford down, able to make the save. Here's Tanev. Daniel, shot. Off traffic wide. Hamhuis goes to it. Bouncing puck side of the goal. Canucks put pressure on. It's Hansen out with the Twins right now, but the Hawks break back the other way. 3 of them through center. Kane down the left wing. Taves goes to the goal. Forced to the corner. Sharp's out there as well. Gets the puck back to the line. Chalmerson had lots of room, but the hot pass hops off his stick and out to center ice. So we approach the midway mark of the second. Back comes Sharp. Working on Hamhuis. Patrick Sharp plays it behind the net for Taves. Takes it away from Tanev. To Sharp. To Chalmerson. Turns. Shot. Wide. Daniel Sedin to it. Oduya takes it away. To Kane behind the net. Bank pass to Chalmerson at the point. Back to Kane. Patrick Kane to Chalmerson as they play catch just inside the line. Long shot. Luongo pad down, makes the stop. Rebound goes to Kane. Chicago buzzing here, looking for the equalizer. Midway through the second period. Shot by Chalmerson. Luongo save again. Rebound to the corner. 18th save of the night for Luongo as the puck's cleared out to center ice. Chalmerson right back in. Shot off the wing goes wide, off Kruger's stick. Chalmerson's behind the net, played it out front. Pass was blocked by Hamhuis. Daniel Sedin gets the puck in the corner, and he'll lift it backhand high and out.
Daniel needs to get off the ice. They've been in their zone a long time. Saw Kessler and Henrik get off.
Let's make a change. Stanton breaks up the rush. Santorelli trying to muscle the puck in. He will. Has Burrows with him. Burrows takes the puck in deep. Wrap around attempt. Cut off by Keith. Puck flip back to the corner. Santorelli twisting and turning. Puts it behind the net for Higgins. Watched by Seabrook. Higgins to Bieksa. He'll play it to Burrows. Lets it go to Santorelli. Higgins is out front. Santorelli. Nifty move. Back to the line. One-timer. Bieksa put it wide. Poke back out front by Higgins. And cleared by the Blackhawks.
So it was all Chicago for one shift, and now it's Vancouver having the momentum.
Taking turns. It's been a good game. Here's Weiss down the wing with a shot. Gorham saved by Crawford, and he's able to hang on. Shots 18-17 in favor of the Hawks. 8:12 left in the second. 1-0 Vancouver on CBC.
Who would pay $99 for a vial of water? If you're a Hawks fan and it's water from the melted ice at the United Center, in which the Hawks played 3 games of the Stanley Cup Final, apparently you would. By Wednesday, the Hawks had sold all 2,013 vials collected at the end of last season. Not sure who came up with this idea, but it's produced $181,000 of revenue, all of it going to the Chicago Blackhawks charities benefiting at-risk Illinois youth. So that shields Chicago from criticism here, Rick.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, good idea, great cause. I don't know, I might be tempted to say, hey, we just found another 2,000 vials. Right next to the sink.
You're evil thinking that.
No. It is a great idea.
Sure is.
Canucks looking to build on a 1-0 lead. It's been a great game here in Vancouver. Even though we just have the 1 goal so far, there's a shot from the point. Bounces off traffic. High in the air. Played back to the line. Hamhuis able to keep it on side with another shot. That doesn't get through. Knocked down by Chalmerson ahead to Taves. He finds Sharp at center ice. Saad joins him. That rush broken up by Hamhuis. Puck pops over the stick at Taves. Hamhuis will bring it up. Up the left wing to Daniel. Leaves it for his brother. Henrik. Played it out front for Kessler. This is him with a pass. Garrison hustles over to keep it in. Henrik Sedin. Jannik Hansen. Shot, sharp angle, block, comes back to Edler with a long slapper. Stopped by Crawford. Can't corral the rebound, but Seabrook gets over to it. Long pass up to Kane. What a move by Kane, but he can't get the puck back. Garrison recovers to help out Edler. Patrick Kane is so dangerous. Edler back the other way, into the zone with a weak flipper that misses the net, comes back to him at the line, can't keep it onside.
and he's lurking right now. He's looking for that long stretch pass. Kane is now. He's going off, but be careful now.
Let's play the punt to the line to the skates of Hansen. Can't get it in. Edler with a good check at center ice. Forces a turnover. Backhanded deep by Richardson. Canucks start a change. Hansen alone, forechecker. Throws a hit as he runs into Roosevelt. Bieksa keeps the puck onside with a shot in front of the goal. Burrows can't get a stick to it. And the Hawks are able to clear the zone. Approaching the 14-minute mark of the second period. So far, Ryan Kesler's power play goal, the only goal of the night. Here's Stanton. Turns. Now Santorelli. Nice pass back to the line. Bieksa. Double clutches. Now he shoots. That goes off traffic wide of the goal. Burrows behind the net. Alex Burrows off the boards to Stanton. Stanton to Bieksa for the one-timer. Stopped by Crawford. Kicks the puck into the corner. Shot to it. Can't get it past Bieksa. He'll flip it out front. Bounces to the near side. You're right, Kelly. Teams taking turns with pressure at either end.
Even though there's some chances, 18 to 20 the shots are in favor of Vancouver, I'd have to say both teams are thrilled with how they're playing defensively.
In a well-played game.
It really has.
Bieksa at his own line. Quick up, hit Roosevelt going to the bench. And the faceoff will come to center ice. He's going to set up a rush back the other way, and they're going to just blow it dead. And it's the right call as we're inside 5.5 left in the second period. It's 1-0 Vancouver on Hockey Night in Canada.
15 minutes and 3 seconds, and he is such a force every shift because he can skate so well, takes away the time and space of everybody, knows when to jump into play. Defensively, as sharp as any guy in the league. Just a treat to watch. Hey, skating's my thing. I got to clean my skate blade. But boy, I'll tell you what, he just uses everybody on the ice so well. And I thought on this play right here, Burrows is going to have a great scoring chance, and he took that away so easily.
Yeah, he spoiled Burrows a couple times in the second period. That's a great player. Born in Winnipeg, raised in Fort Francis, Ontario. Spent time in Penticton, time with the Kelowna Rockets as well in the Western League, so definite BC connection there.
And the important thing is to make note of, too, he spent time in the minors. He wasn't one of these guys that just went straight to the NHL. And the reason I bring that up, it seems that there's a real trend to bring guys up too quickly. And young players are often disappointed to spend time in the minors. In fact, go there, improve your skill and your trade like Duncan Keith has, then be a star in the National Hockey League.
Shot by Perry goes off of Luongo and out of play. Well, CBC is your home for the holidays, starting with the hilarious Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean. That's tomorrow at 7:30 on CBC TV. For a full holiday schedule, visit cbc.ca/holiday.
So both goaltenders, Rick, doing everything that they can do here. Just look, both of them look so composed, don't they?
Yeah, and then, again, Luongo for the first time this season starting back-to-back nights. Not surprised at home, and people wonder if maybe we'll see Eddie Lack when the Canucks play host to LA on Monday as they face the last two Stanley Cup champions in back-to-back games.
Lack has played well.
He has. Here's Keith stealing, throwing it out front. That misses everybody as Taves was retreating. Cambius gets to a puck. Nice play to Higgins. Has a chance for an off-man rush with Santorelli. Richardson joins him. Higgins bobbled the puck, and by the time he threw it out front, things had kind of fallen apart. Now Santorelli with a shot that goes wide. Burrows on the half boards. Cambius now. Slapper, deflected. Crawford down. Puck loose. Winds up in the corner. Santorelli over to it. He's checked, and it's played out by Ben Smith and dumped in by Patrick Sharp, who'll head into the forecheck as the Hawks finish off a change. Sharp can't get the puck. Burrows takes control for Vancouver. Here's Hamhuis to Santorelli. Over the line with Hamhuis and Higgins on the rush. Puck played to the goal, tipped away by Crawford. Hamhuis pushed off the puck in the corner by Roosevelt. Burrows gets control behind the net. Wants to work it out front. Knocked off the stick by Leddy. Good job by Higgins to recover to Burrows. Leddy falls. Gets up to get in the way of Burrows. Burrows stays on it. Cycles the puck. Picked off by Shaw. And he'll bring it out. Shaw to center. Three Hawks over the line. Kane takes the pass. Plays it back to Versteeg. Top of the circle with a shot blocked away by Luongo. And the rebound goes to Burrows. Alex Burrows gets it ahead. A little too hot to handle for Edler. And it slides over to Santorelli late in the shift. He'll carry in. Richter on goal. Crawford gloves that down. And Leddy takes the puck to the side of the net. Shots 23-20 Canucks. As Versteeg goes after the puck. Plays it back. Looking for Morin, but that didn't connect, and the Canucks were able to clear it. Brent Seabrook at his own line. Former Lethbridge Hurricane gets it ahead. Carried in by Morin. Knocked down by Bieksa behind the net as Morin tried to play it out front. That was picked off, and here comes Hansen. Bieksa and Weiss join him. Hansen shot wide. Bouncer off the end boards. Hops away from Weiss as he runs into Seabrook. Kruger plays it ahead. Bollig works it over the line, but Morin steps in early. Offside called on Chicago. Well, Chris Versteeg is back in Chicago as he returns from the Florida Panthers. They made the deal November 14th to get him. Last year was tough for Versteeg. He only played 10 games. He had reconstructive ACL surgery during the season. Told me earlier today, Kelly, he only got back to 100% training in September and really doesn't feel like he'll be back fully until next season when he's got a full year to recover and work out in the off season. He told me coming back to Chicago. I said, what's it like coming back? He goes, it's like going back to high school, except all your buddies are still there. It's not that creepy Matthew McConaughey and Dazed and Confused going back as a 22-year-old, you know. He said it's really cool. It was great coming back. And of course, such a great memory last time he was with the Blackhawks. So he's happy to be back in Chicago colors.
Of course, that's where he played his best hockey, and this is really where he belongs. But I would agree with you that, and with Versteeg, that it's going to take a while. The expectations should be not too high, and so that frustration sets in. He talks a lot about he's not still able to get there yet in terms of skating ability. So we'll see, I'm sure, a progression in the next couple of months. Though.
He said rehab was a full-time job from the day after the surgery. And he goes, I feel for guys who have to work real jobs that can only go to physio once or twice a week. He goes, I can't imagine how tough it is for those guys coming off something like that.
Well, and emotionally, I watch a lot of guys go through rehab, and they have a lot of highs and lows. And when you go through a relapse, like most players do, then it's a really emotional time, and you need good support, whether it's with your teammates or family and friends around you to encourage you and push you, because it's so easy to get frustrated with your rehab.
Icing on Chicago. Joel Quenneville and the Blackhawks trailing by a goal. They've had their chances in this game. It really has been punch, counter punch. Been a fun game to watch.
Really has. And even for a guy like me, I mean, we all like scoring chances, and there have been a bunch of them, and only one goal. And I just really admire the defensive play of both teams and the recognition in their own zone when to react to something.
Alex Burrows down the wing, keeps the puck on side. Peary took it away, but he can't clear because Hamhuis couldn't keep it in. Has to regroup. Up to Henry. Tip pass cross ice for Daniel, who's sitting at 299 career goals. Thought he had his 300th last night, but they gave that second goal to Henrik.
That's a bad brother.
Nuts dump it in. Crawford's over the goal. Pressure by Henrik Sedin. Backhand pass to Hjalmarsson.
Pretty good play by Crawford right there. It looked like he was in a bad spot.
Hjalmarsson carries in out front for Taves. Puck lines up in the corner. Sharp ties up Burrows. We hit the final minute of play of the second period. Taves down low, watched by Tanev. Burrows in there as well. Sharp waiting for it. Knocks it away. Henrik takes it off the boards. Daniel gets the puck, plays it to an open side, and Hamhuis will skate over to it and clear it. Canucks starting a change. Henrik Sedin, low man on the forecheck. Now he peels off. Johnny Oduya will get it ahead to Shaw. Tips it to the line. That's broken up by Kessler. This is icing on Vancouver with a half minute to go in the middle frame.
Roberto Luongo may now change his morning skates because it's gone so well right now. And I know a lot of people, you like routine and so on, but as we talked about earlier in the broadcast, he decided not to go be a part of the skate this morning. And sometimes more than anything, that's just a mental thing that you trust yourself. That's a routine you like. But in the end, you find, you know what, it maybe has no bearing on the impact of the game. I'll ask him that after hours.
There you go. Nice tie-in, Kelly.
Thank you.
After hours, Roberto Luongo making his 46th appearance. He loves coming on with you guys. You and Scott and Roberto are all buddies.
Well, he does, in fact. He mentioned to Scott Oak that he'd like to come on soon. That was a week or two ago. Wow. So,
and there's so much to talk about.
Isn't there?
What happened this offseason? I mean, what a crazy story. And boy, he's played well as the Canucks dump it in. Final seconds tick off the clock, and the second period comes to an end the way the first one did, with the Canucks leading by 1.
So again, both teams going in the dressing room after that period. Optimistic for the third. Chicago thinking a comeback is in the cards in Vancouver, probably because they're playing so well defensively that we can hang on to this lead.
So Ryan Kessler's power play goal and the two-man advantage late in the first holds up through 40 minutes of play. It's Vancouver 1, Chicago no score on Hockey Night in Canada.
Vancouver Canucks by 1, and now the question is, can they protect this lead and bring this one home? Assistant coach Glenn Gulutzan says the key to Canucks doing that is to protect the puck. He says Canuck players were told between periods of the need to be wary of how the Chicago Blackhawks like to fly the zone, in particular Kane and Toews. Gulutzan says if Keith and Seabrook are on the ice, there's every chance that Kane and Toews will leave the zone before the puck does. So he says the key is to have numbers back there. Rick.
Thank you, Scott. So far they have. It's been a good effort both ends of the rink for both these teams, really, Kelly. Just an excellent game so far. Only one goal. Lots of flow, good pace.
But we did see a number of examples later in the second period where Kane was really trying to slide the zone and get that opportunity. Hanging out near the offensive blue line. Ryan Kessler's got the goal in this game, dumps the puck in. Crawford's out, leaves it behind the net for Hjalmarsson. Hamhuis activates, kicks it to the slot. That's intercepted by Aduya. He'll clear. Up to Smith on the wing as a man out front. That's sharp. A good hustle by the Canucks captain Henrik Sedin to come back and steal the puck. Kessler plays it in. Crawford will leave it for Aduya. Hjalmarsson now. Ahead to Brandon Pirri. Dumps the puck in and around. Burrows to it. Garrison now pressured in the corner by Saad. He's tied up by Santorelli. That allows Burrows to take the puck away and clear. Higgins gives chase. Seabrook going back as well. Higgins gets the puck in the corner off front, and stick of Santorelli was tied up. Burrows gets the loose puck. He's pushed off the puck by Seabrook, and it's played past Edler at the point to the Vancouver zone. Kane chasing. Garrison there first. He'll clear. Hard up to Santorelli. 3 Canucks over the line. Santorelli turns. Now Higgins. Burrows out front. Santorelli puts it behind the net. Brookbank there, stolen. Burrows trying to play it out front, cut off by Crawford, and Kane gets the loose puck on the near boards. Leddy will carry out the center ice. Leads the Hawks over the line to Pirri. Drop pass to Kane. Kane on the backhand behind the net. Cuts out the other side. Sets up on the half boards with a shot. That's steered away by Luongo. Brookbank at the point. Kept it in, lost his stick, goes to the bench. Leddy kept the puck onside. Edler quick up to Hansen, took a bad bounce off the boards, but Hansen recovers to clear the zone. Hansen out there right now with Richardson and Weiss. For the Canucks, Stanton back at his own line. Ahead for Jannik Hansen. Backhand shot goes off the stick of Seabrook high, off the end-board glass. Kruger battling down low with Richardson. Stanton stands his ground. Seabrook trying to regroup. Puts it behind the net to his partner, Keith. Had to dodge the official, made a nifty play and feeds the puck to Kruger, who finds Seabrook out the center ice. Morin will work it in. Makes a move around Stanton, got hooked by Kessler. Nice move by Jeremy Morin, draws a penalty, and the Hawks down by 1 get an early third period power play. Wow, what a pace to start this third. This is like it was in the first 10 minutes of the first period. Jeremy Morin with terrific hands right here. Gets by Stanton, and then Kessler feels it in an attempt to take away the scoring chance. He gets a stick in there. That's a good play by Morin. Didn't stop his feet from moving. I think that's why he gave Stanton such a hard time.
Second power play of the night for Chicago. Jeremy Morin was a second-round draft pick of Atlanta in 09 and came over to Chicago in the trade that saw Dustin Byfuglien go there.
Former Kitchener Ranger. Last time with the Rangers, 53 games, 47 goals, and 83 points.
Kessler off for hooking at the 2:30 mark. Chicago obviously 0 for 1 on the power play. No shots their last chance as well. Face off to the left of Luongo. Toews, Kane, Shaw, Sharp, Keith on the power play. Sharp shot off the crossbar, off the post and out. Double whammy from the point, stays out. The Canucks still lead. That was close. Sharp again to Keith. He shoots. Luongo steers that aside. Toews gets it back to Keith. Over to Sharp. Out front to Toews. Now to Kane. Patrick Kane. Patience. Backhand pass to Sharp. Keith in the circle. Pass back to Kane is deflected by Richardson and fired down the ice by Burrows.
Seems like a little bit more urgency by Chicago on that. Jonathan Toews, you could just see that he was going to will himself to win that faceoff.
Keith the center to Toews. Hawks captain. Chips it into Shaw. Knocked down by Bieksa. They both fall. Santorelli over to help out. Shaw takes it away. Keith at the line. Sharp now with another shot. That goes off the stick of Santorelli and on a play with 1:07 left in the power play.
You could just sense that Jonathan Toews knew that this was an important draw. Here's the urgency for it. Wins it back cleanly. Takes a little bit of a hit from Richardson. That was deflected by Shaw right in front. And then it hits at both posts. And then Jonathan Toews. Excellent play by Tanev, who's had a wonderful game. Quiet game, but wow, I'll tell you. Little play like that, that definitely could have been 1-1.
Double post, maybe crossbar post. Always, I don't know, is it good when you hear the clank or bad, Kelly?
Depends.
What about when you hear two?
It depends what I see behind me.
That's the most important. Yeah. Let's take a little peek over your shoulder. It's all good. Here's Leddy at the line. He'll take a slapper. That goes off Bieksa wide of the goal. Seabrook to it. Gave it away to Bieksa in the corner. He'll play it off the boards. Not out. Good job by Seabrook to keep it in. Bieksa again. Broke his stick. Puck stolen. Versteeg. To Saad in the corner. Bieksa stickless, battling with Saad. Bieksa tries to fall and the puck can't do it. The Hawks with a 1.5-man power play here. Advantage as Peary gets the puck down low. Versteeg back to Leddy with a slapper. Luongo makes the save and wisely hangs on. Well, Jake is taken hostage and must investigate an unusual high-stakes robbery from inside. On an all-new Republic of Doyle, that's Wednesday at 9 on CBC TV.
That's always a dilemma, isn't it, Rick? I've talked to a lot of people in the game when a defenseman like that, when you break your stick, do you actually go to the bench and try and get one, or are you more effective on the ice without a stick? And I bet half the people would give me one answer, half the other answer. I know Mike Milbury has been pretty firm and just go to the bench and get a stick because you're usually ineffective anyway.
Yeah, I understand that. I can see both sides of the argument. At the same time, though, I'd almost rather have a body out there at least to physically get in the way of somebody. Canucks dodge a bullet in that one because Luongo was able to hang on to that last shot. They dump it down the ice. Final 5 seconds of the Chicago power play. They work it over the line. Penalty over. Kessler out of the box. Hawks 0 for 2, 3 shots on that power play, and 2 goalposts on the same shot. There's the puck to the front of the goal. Kane spin around and deflected on the goal and scored! Bounced off traffic in front between Luongo's pads, and we're tied at 1.
You never know how a new energy, new seeming life by Chicago is going to turn out if you're actually going to score, but you could definitely sense that they had a lot of traffic going in front of the net, and they had different energy level at the start. Andrew Shaw is the one that's actually going to deflect this. I think Patrick Kane even knows that he's right there, because that looked to me like that was more of a pass than just a shot at the net. And Andrew Shaw's been in that position a lot today, right in front, usually trying to just block the vision of Luongo, but in this case had a stick on the ice and deflected it through the legs.
So Shaw gets his 5th of the season. Kane extends his point streak to 10 games. Shaw redeems himself after an undisciplined penalty in the first period that gave the Canucks the 5-on-3 that led to their goal. Here's a 2-on-1. Kruger with bowling. Kruger shoots, scores! Back-to-back goals. 9 seconds apart. And the Hawks have the lead in the 3rd period.
Goes back to the 2nd period where we were talking about you can't make bad decisions when you're playing Chicago. There's a bad pinch right there with no support, and that leads to Kruger right here. But that's just a bad time back up at that point. You know, you've just been scored upon, make the safe play. And unfortunately for Stanton, he thought that the right play was to pinch up, but he had no support. And then Kruger goes 5-hole in Luongo, and it's 2-1. For Chicago.
And all of 9 seconds. That's what it takes for Chicago to erase the Vancouver lead and take one of their own. Now the Canucks got to get back on their horse here. Top line out for Vancouver. Here comes Kessler, long wrister wide. Daniel Sedin to it. Down low to Henrik. Kessler's out front. Henrik turns back to Daniel. He'll play it off the boards to Edler. Rister didn't get through. Puck bounces to Daniel. Smith checks him. Takes the puck away. Good work by Ben Smith. He'll carry on and flip it in. Jason Garrison. Alex Edler. Canucks change. Up front as Richardson chips the puck in. Seabrook back to it. Nice pass to Kane. He'll work through center ice. Makes a move around Hamhuis. Kane over the line with Versteeg. And Pirri with him, with the pass to Pirri broken up. Seabrook races over to it. Seabrook in deep. Plays it behind the net. Versteeg. Checked by Tanev. Pirri to Versteeg. Still battling. Now Hamhuis in the corner. Turns up ice. And he'll work it out. Long lead pass to Jannik Hansen. Tips it deep. Crawford out of the goal. Has to wait for it to go out of the no-go zone. Seabrook comes back to get it, but he'll give it away to Bieksa. Bieksa on the boards. Waits. Waited too long. Patrick Sharp coming off the bench. Picked his pocket and clears the zone. Here's Bieksa. Lead pass. Misses Kessler at center ice. Quick up to Taves. Over the line with Saad. Sharp with him too. Saad with a shot. Luongo makes the save, and the puck goes up over the glass and out of play. 2 goals in the third. Andrew Shaw, Marcus Kruger. Hawks lead by 1 on Hockey Night in Canada. Well, Kelly, this game has turned in a span of 9 seconds here in the third period.
Although you could see Chicago, they had a different urgency. Andrew Shaw right there with the deflection, and then Kruger 9 seconds later goes 5-hole. Get another look of it from the LASIK MD net cam. Just finds a way to sneak through Luongo. So, as you said, Rick, Canucks have 13:32 to find a way to answer the bell and get the game-tying goal.
It's the 1 goal tonight for Vancouver so far. They look to equalize here as Hansen carries the line, trying to do it by himself. Cut off by Oduya. Kane checked by Edler, and a good play with a shot glove save by Crawford, and he's able to hang on. Well, Kelly, one of our Hockey Night in Canada family, longtime director Ron Forsyth is at home recovering after surgery this week, and we know he's doing well. That's great news. But Ron, I know you're listening and watching tonight. We wish you the best, buddy.
And don't be too critical, Ron. We know that you do a wonderful job here at Hockey Night in Canada. And as you know, you've got lots of support. You can give us a buzz anytime, and we're right there for you.
Ron, critical? Come on.
He has pretty high standards.
What's the over-under on how many times he's thrown his remote control at the TV set tonight?
Well, he's probably muted me.
Here are the Canucks going to work. Stanton at the line. Over to Bieksa with room to shoot. Doesn't. Now he reloads and takes the shot. Into traffic. Stopped by Crawford. Henrik's down the side of the goal. Checked by Oduya. The puck cleared out. Good chance for the Canucks there. Burrows races to the puck. Nice pass to Ryan Stanton. Ahead for Daniel. Had to reach back for it. Gets control and fires it in. Henrik on it. Tip pass to Burrows. Burrows out with the Twins again. Reunited. Here's Henrik behind the net to Daniel. Poked away from him. Stanton activates. Hjalmarsson cuts off that pass with help from Oduya. Hit the referee though. Henrik steals it back. Battle deep in the zone. Henrik gets the puck. Still on the boards. Trying to play it back behind the net. Oduya read that well. And they're able to clear the zone out to center ice as the Hawks start a change. Henrik tries to take advantage. Quick up to Daniel. Daniel slapper, put it wide. Looking short side, missed. Here's Kessler off the boards with a shot that goes wide of the goal. Patrick Kane to it. Now Keith across to Seabrook. Up to Kane with room, working on Garrison. Kane with speed on the line. Can't pull the trigger on the backhand. Garrison got a stick on that, knocked it away.
Tape-to-tape passing, though, by Chicago. Seabrook right on the tape of Kane.
Alex Edler takes the puck. Big Swede out the center. His pass cut off. Nice play by Taves to Sharp. Kane with him. Taves as well. Sharp in the corner. Kane on the other side. Back to Keith. One-timer. That's blocked by Santorelli trying to get away, but good job by Keith to recover the puck. Shot from a sharp angle by Kane is stopped by Luongo, and he's able to hang on.
Log on to CBCSports.ca/PowerPicks and choose your Silverado Power Picks for this week. Each vote counts as a chance to win a 2014 Chevy Silverado.
Pretty impressive effort by Chicago now. Even after the Kruger goal that put them up 2-1, they haven't stopped. They're getting better.
Canucks sagging obviously with that as well, but there's still a long way to go here. 11.5 left in the third, just a 1-goal game, and off the draw, Tanev ices the puck and throws his head back. So take the face-off all over again to the right of Luongo.
You know what I was impressed with, Rick? After the mistake by Stan that led to the 2-1 goal, he didn't miss a shift. Tortorella threw him right back out there, and I think that's really important in the growth of young players like Stanton, that I'd say most people here would believe that he's overachieved. The youngster coming over here from the Chicago organization, I like the fact that give him a chance to get out there and play hockey again and not think too much about it on the bench.
Great waiver wire pickup for Vancouver. Stanton, a 3-point game last game. First rookie Canucks defenseman to do that since Steve Staios in 1997.
It's going back a few years.
Canucks go to work in the zone. Tanev over to Hamhuis. Hamhuis, weak shot, blocked in front of the goal. Brookbank on the way, and here goes Sharp trying to pull away. Tanev knocked it away from him. Sharp has to regroup on the far boards. Taves down low. Now Saad behind the net. Tanev able to take the puck. Turns away from Taves, who backs off. And Hamhuis with control. By to Smithers, ahead of Tom Sestito. Drops it off to Hamhuis, overskated the puck and fell down. Look out, here goes Kruger into the zone. Kruger cuts out front with a pass, and that goes through the skates of Smith and out the other side. Canucks dodge a bullet. Hansen chips it in. They're going to blow that down on the offside, or the icing call. So the Vancouver Canucks explode for 6 goals last night against Columbus to break a 5-game losing skid, but goal production, Kelly, has been a real issue. They had as many goals last night as the previous 5 games combined, and again tonight, with 10.5 left in the third period, just 1 goal scored on 26 shots for Vancouver.
2 ways to look at it too, but they're getting lots of shots, so lots of attempts, just not showing any finish right now. And the other part, defensively, they're just not giving up much either. Before tonight, in the previous 5 games, defensively, they only gave up 12 goals, so that's on the bright side.
Here comes Kane down the right wing, throws a cross-ice pass, looking for Shaw on the far side. That went behind him, and Burrow's able to work it out to Daniel Sedin. Has Henrik breaking for the goal. The pass won't get through. Oduya cuts it off with help from Jalmerson. Chip it up the boards, off the glass, and out of play. Just past the midway mark of the third, the Hawks get 2 quick ones. We've got a little stare down between Burroughs and Jalmerson, but goals 9 seconds apart are giving Chicago the lead 2-1 on Hockey Night in Canada. Time now for Hockey Night Close-Up, brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Tonight's Close-Up is the busiest goalie in the NHL so far this season, Corey Crawford.
And quietly having another great game here, Rick, with 25 saves. You know, the thing about Corey Crawford, like the great ones, he finds a way to fight through traffic, get a piece of it. The other thing that's really impressive about his game tonight, and I've talked about it a couple times, is how well he moves the puck with his defensemen, so they're allowed to leave the zone quickly and effectively, and that just comes with patience and experience and so on, and not trying to do too much.
Crawford's been good. The only goal that beat him was on a 5-on-3 in the first period. That was Ryan Kessler's goal, and that lead held until early in the third. 2 goals seconds apart for the Hawks, and they're up by 1. 9:59 to go in the final period of regulation time.
So this pretty good game for Chicago, because coming into this, the last 10 days or so, they've had a couple where they've let in 7 last Saturday versus Nashville, and Tuesday versus Colorado, they gave up 5. So I know Joel Quenneville talked this morning about being better defensively.
Yeah, the Hawks lead the league in scoring, goals per game. They're 22nd in goals surrendered per game.
Which last year they
were first. Yeah. Although Quenneville says that even though they're giving up a lot of goals, the scoring chances against aren't any higher than they were a year ago. Here's Bieksa with a shot through traffic, and Crawford makes a nice save with Burroughs coming through the crease. He's able to hang on. And then Burroughs and Bollig do a little jabbing at each other. That was a good stop by Corey Crawford.
Tortorella was telling us that Burroughs needs to get rewarded here, and he's had a pretty good game, always going in front of the net, and you have to think at some point something's either, if it doesn't hit his stick, it's going to hit a skate leg or a pants, something, and go in the net, because he's been all around the net. I thought he was terrific last night versus Columbus too, and if he continues to go to the front of the net, he is going to get rewarded, because you can tell a guy that he's playing well, but until they start to get the goals or the points, it's hard for them to believe it sometimes.
We have not seen much of Zach Kassian for the Canucks since the end of the first period. I think he's still on the bench, Kelly. I don't think they're down a man.
It's not usually a good sign, is it?
Nope. Riding the pine, Zach Kassian. Canucks work it in. Here comes Higgins with Kessler and Santorelli. Higgins shot, glove save. Rebound, hopped over the stick of Kessler before he could backhand it. Santorelli to Kessler behind the net. Higgins goes out front. Seabrook ties up Kessler. Seabrook gets the puck up the boards. Edler trying to cut it off, but he's knocked down and it clears. Back to the Vancouver zone. Garrison to it for the Canucks. Higgins with Kessler. Higgins shot, kicked away. Santorelli now. Behind the net to Kessler. Back to the line to Edler. To Kessler. Tips the puck to Higgins. Canucks will forced to stay outside. Edler will try to feed it over Garrison. One-timer through traffic. Crawford steers that to the corner. Higgins coughed it up to Keith, but Santorelli comes over to help. Knocks it free, puts it behind the net. Seabrook first man to it. Off the boards and out. Santorelli at his own line can't handle the puck. A bouncer comes out front. Taves can't corral it. Kessler, good job to lift the stick is shot, and that allows Garrison to get away. Has Daniel with him. Here's Daniel Sedin into the zone. Canucks making a change. Garrison up deep. Stops in the corner, poked off a stick to Taves. Can't get it past Henrik. Leddy will try. Gets it ahead. Nice play off the boards by Versteeg. Ahead to Brandon Saad. He'll fire the puck in and head off on a change for Chicago. Versteeg first hawk on it. By himself, now gets support. Henrik makes a play off the wall. Burrows gets it as far as the line. Not out. Kane able to keep it in. Hamhuis to it ahead of Pirri. Dan Hamhuis cuts out in front of his own goal. Plays a pass ahead to Daniel, but hops off his stick to center ice. Fired right back in by Versteeg.
Well, Vancouver finally with a bit of a pushback there after the 2 goals by Kruger. It was all Chicago for the next 4 or 5 minutes, but now Vancouver's getting a couple of chances. Johnny
Oduya to it to Hjalmarsson in the corner. He'll chip it ahead. Kept onside. Hamhuis backhander up front. Another shot by Weiss. Stopped by Crawford. Great job by Dale Weiss to knock that down and get a shot away, and a better job by Corey Crawford with the save.
Earlier, Higgins and Garrison had chances. Here's the latest one right here, right in front with Dale Weiss knocking this puck down, and excellent backhand. Terrific reaction by Corey Crawford. You know, backhands are so difficult to read where they're going to go, and even though Crawford was really deep in his net, he is able to come up with that save. You know, when you're 6'2" like Crawford is, and you have the lower part of the net covered, it's pretty darn difficult to get it by him.
Here's Hansen at the line. Long wrister doesn't get through. Seabrook cuts it off, finds Kruger. He'll work it ahead. Kruger with the goal-ahead goal in this game. Long wrister blockered away by Luongo. Ryan Stanton up to Hansen. Here's Weiss. The Dutch Gretzky. He played in Holland during the lockout.
I know what you're going to say. He led the league in scoring.
Crazy.
And like I told you that night when you brought that up, well, he should
have shot wide and a double whammy by Richardson from point-blank range. Crawford made the first save. Now a redirect by Richardson bounces to Crawford, and man, has he been good here in the last few minutes to keep it 2-1 Chicago.
Wow, he's even getting better as the game goes on now, because Vancouver, they're their most dangerous right now in the third period. An excellent play from behind the net by Hansen. Richardson's denied, and then right back to the front of the net. Richardson's where he's supposed to be. That might go off Leddy right here. It does. Clearly goes off his foot. And Crawford able to track that puck down, which is not very easy with all the traffic that Vancouver's putting to the front of the net right now.
So the Canucks push him back here. Still trailing by 1. Inside 7 minutes left in the third. Santorelli on the draw for Vancouver up against Kruger. Santorelli wins it. Higgins to the puck on the boards. Trying to cut around Keith. Can't do it. Keith picks his pocket and clears. It's Tanev. Dan Hamhuis. Here's Santorelli to Higgins. Nice pass to Kessler. Slap shot, glove save. Bouncing rebound. Cleared out by Chicago. 33rd shot by the Canucks. Crawford stopped all but 1. Higgins tips it in. Crawford out of the goal. Leave it for Keith. Quick up to Saad. Kicks it back to Taves. Able to work it out. Sharp with him. 2-on-1. Here's Taves into the zone. Cuts wide. Poked off a stick by a sprawling Alex Edler. Higgins has fallen down on the end boards from one knee. Can't make a play. Taves tries to throw it out front. That's blocked. He gets it back. Tries to cut out front. That's blocked. Bieksa's down. Gloves the puck to Daniel Sedin. Sedin will work it out. Nice pass to Edler on the rush, but he can't take it. Back comes Saad the other way. With speed into the zone, and Taves joins him. Pickpocketed by Henrik Sedin. Canucks captain over the line with Burrows and Daniel. Here's Burrows. Takes a shot. Stop. Big rebound. Andrew shoots wide. Rolling puck. Couldn't get good wood on it. Daniel gets the puck in the corner on the right side. Back to the line of the exit. Over to Edler. Room to shoot. Looking for a redirect. Henrik couldn't steer the puck on goal. Sharp takes it away from Daniel and clears the zone.
Jonathan Taves went slowly to the Chicago bench, so we'll keep our eye on that too. I noticed him really slowly leaving the Vancouver zone.
Hunched over on the bench. The Hawks captain still out there though as the Canucks break back through center. They're turning up the heat. Hansen with a shot blocked by Seabrook. Jannik Hansen in the corner. Nice play. Richardson with a shot. Crawford through traffic, able to make the save and hang on. Jonathan Taves got wrapped up with Alex Edler. He goes to the bench in pain, but Chicago Blackhawks with the lead. 5:03 to go in the third period in Vancouver. Chicago 2 and the Canucks 1 on Hockey Night in Canada. Beautiful evening in Vancouver. Canucks fans hoping for a beautiful finish, but right now it's Chicago leading by a score of 2-1 here in the third period. Jonathan Taves left the ice lap shift for the Blackhawks. A little worse for the wear as he's showing some pain on the bench. Kelly tied up with Alex Edler, but he's staying out there, and Taves will stay in the game. It's been a good one here in Vancouver with 5:03 to go. Canucks trailing the Hawks 2-1.
Sure has. Taves got quite the shot from Alex Edler. I like what Vancouver's doing right now. Very simple game plan. Everybody go to the front of the net. We saw opportunities from Burrows and Richardson doing just that.
Chance for Daniel. That's blocked by Hjalmarsson. The Canucks have turned up the heat here. When they've got the puck on net, Crawford's had the answers in the third period. He's gotten better as the game has gone on.
He has.
Corey Crawford's been very good.
He was steady all game. Now he's spectacular.
36-29 shot edge Vancouver. But as has been an issue in recent games, goal production not there. Versteeg works it in. Garrison ties up Versteeg. Got the stick in on him. Play continues. Versteeg's pass. Looking for Shaw, pushed to the boards by Henrik Sedin. He falls over Versteeg, pocket the line. Canucks try and get it out of will. Burrows up to Henrik. Daniel near side, that pass blocked by Shaw. Canucks start a change. Shaw quick up to Kane. Hanging out at the Vancouver line, he gets it in. Versteeg on the forecheck, bumps Tanev in the corner. Daniel winds up with control. Off the boards and out to Kessler. Kessler with speed over the line. Santorelli with it. Kessler stops. Works the puck to the corner now behind the net to Santorelli. Kessler hit hard by Seabrook, and the puck taken away by Keith on the other side. He'll find Shaw, brings the puck out. Andrew Shaw dumps it in. Wholesale changes for the Hawks, except he hadn't gained center ice yet, and that's icing on Chicago.
Good scoring chances and big hits. Brent Seabrook not going to let Kessler off the hook right here. That is a powerful hit right there. Even though they're awfully close to the bench, you could just see, or to the boards, you could just see Seabrook lean right in at Kessler. That takes its toll for sure.
Kessler stays out there. Now we get a timeout call, I'm assuming by Chicago after the icing.
Well, that's the right call right there. Especially in your own zone and knowing fully that Vancouver, they gained some life here.
They've turned up the heat. They have not found the answer yet. Down by 1. Ryan Kessler at the bench, the lone Canucks scorer in this game. It came on a 5-on-3. Late in the first period, but the Hawks answer back in the 9-second span here in the third, Kelly.
Here's how they got those 2 goals. Kane spin around backhand pass to Shaw, and then a bad pinch right there at center ice. Leads to this Kruger goal, 5-hole. And in 9 seconds, the entire game turned.
So the Canucks send out Kessler, Santorelli, and Higgins. Santorelli facing off against Andrew Shaw. 3:42 to go in the third. In a 1-goal game. Shaw wins it. Keith controls. He's been great tonight too. Here goes Shaw out to center. Andrew Shaw over the line. Now the Hawks change as he shovels the puck to the end boards. He'll head off as well. Bieksa to it. Skates it out. Fires it in off a stick, right on goal. Gloved by Crawford, who hangs on for a whistle.
Good news, Jonathan Toews is right out there. That was an excellent timeout called by Chicago. Once Shaw got the puck, they were able to get the puck deep and put the line out there that they want, including their great centerman, Jonathan Toews. But it's good to see that he's not favoring that low back. To me, look where Edler got him with the cross-check.
Toews facing off against Richardson to the right of Crawford.
Boy, Richardson's been good in this third, too.
Toews wins the faceoff. Hjalmarsson hard around. That gets past Garrison. This might be icing, and they're going to wave it off. That's a generous call. Canucks quick up, though, to Weiss. He'll work it over the line. Weiss tries to get it out front. Hansen now passes to Edler. Can't kick it up to his stick. It was in the skates. Edler had a chance there, but pass was off the mark, and the Hawks able to clear it.
And again, Duncan Keith just took 1 or 2 strides up to Edler and took away the opportunity.
Smith steals, throws it out front. Canucks take it back. Hansen will bring it out. Ahead for Richardson. Down the left wing, dumps the puck in, cut off by Seabrook. Keith goes to it. Richardson on him. Knocks it away from Keith. He'll give chase to the other corner. Keith puts it off the glass. And now it's played out to center ice. Bollig lost it in the neutral zone as Bieksa dumped the puck back in. And Vancouver will finish off a change with 2:28 to go in the third period of play. Give away at center. Here goes Burrows. Nice job recovering by Kruger to knock it away from Burrows. Kevin Bieksa. Dan Hamhuis misses Burrows with a pass. And they go in offside. 2:09 to go.
Well, you can sure see that John Tortorella now is going to start relying on certain guys. I thought that last shift, as good as Burrows has been, he looked a little bit tired. He's gone to the bench now to get his skate looked at. Now he's back, but sure it's going to be the same guys going over the bench now.
Henrik wins the neutral zone faceoff. They tried that set play with Bieksa up the middle. Doesn't work, but Burrows gets the puck and fires it in. Hjalmarsson, hard up, cut off by Burrows. Henrik in the corner. Daniel behind the net. Henrik still has it, though. Out the other side, knocked away from him by Shaw, and the net's off the pegs. And that's the reason for the whistle.
Chicago's so good in their own zone. You know, they activate their defensemen to go after the puck carrier when they find a time to do it. They don't do it in a reckless way. They only do it if you only go if you think that you can get to the puck carrier, knock the puck off the stick. Otherwise, go back to the middle of the ice and take care of the zone you're supposed to.
Sedin stay out for the Canucks. Henrik on the draw against Ben Smith. Minute 54 to go. Smith wins it. Hjalmarsson around to Bollig. He'll tip it out down the ice. Not far enough for icing. Garrison. Now Henrik. To Burrows. Edler. Chips and chases. Hjalmarsson gets there first. Kruger fell down at center ice. He gives chase after the puck. Back on his feet. Can't get there. Hawks regroup inside their own line. Smith tips it in. Ryan Kessler. Garrison to Edler. Now to Kessler with speed over the line. Kessler wrist shot, put that wide. Didn't miss by much. Burrows down low. Canucks have pulled the goalie for the extra attacker. Daniel up front. Burrows fanned on it. 6 skaters for Vancouver. Here's Edler. Bieksa. Slap shot deflected wide of the goal by Burrows, and he throws his head back out of frustration. The Hawks able to clear the zone as we hit the final minute of play in regulation time. Canucks get it back in. Daniel on the forecheck. To Henrik on the right side. Out front. Tipped by Burrows. He gets a shot away. It's blocked. Rebound chipped over top of the net off the Chicago stick and on a play as the Canucks whack away at the top of the crease. 45.3 seconds to go.
A little bit of frustration shown by Burrows. What a great deflection in the high slot by Burrows right here. And going to the front of the net, boy, that's been a real theme by Burrows right here. But you can tell he's just not getting any luck either. That puck was there perfectly for him and just couldn't find the handle. But boy, I'll tell you, he's gonna score.
Yeah,
with opportunities like that, I pretty much guarantee you he's gonna get a goal here. Vancouver with the timeout. So Vancouver, they've had a lot of chances after the 2-1 goal. Put a little pat together to show you how good Corey Crawford has been with these excellent chances by the Vancouver Canucks. Canucks showing great determination here. They had a little bit of a lull after the Kruger 2-1 goal, but they've come back really good in the last 7 or 8 minutes. There's still 45.3 seconds left, so let's see what they can do.
37 shots on goal for the Canucks, 14 in this period.
And many of those dangerous.
And just the one pass Crawford. He's been very good. Canucks with 6 skaters. Just over 45 seconds to go. See if they can pull a rabbit out of the hat here and force this game to overtime. Kruger against Henrik Sedin on the faceoff. Sedin's Burrows, Higgins, Kessler, Edler out there for Vancouver. It's a stalemate. Puck sits in the circle, chipped ahead. Edler will try and keep it on side. Good job to do that. Henrik now. Down low for Burrows. Burrows cuts out front, passes to Daniel. He missed the puck with the open side, and the puck's cleared out to center ice. That had potential. Canucks work it back in. Daniel gets it through, but it's knocked away from Higgins. Kept onside by Edler for a moment. His stick breaks as the Hawks clear the zone. Back to the Vancouver end with 20 seconds to go. Ryan Kessler to Henrik. Tips it up to Daniel. Cross-ice pass for Henrik into the skates of Smith, but they go offside at the Chicago blue line. 12.5 left in the third.
Alex Burrows has really been going at it this whole third. Here's an example of how tough things have been lately for Daniel Sedin, even though he had 3 points last night. Pass just over his stick right there. Excellent play, though.
May have been deflected just enough to lift it over the blade. So the face-off outside the Chicago line after the offside call. 12.5 seconds to go.
So job number 1 here by Henrik. Win the draw, get the puck deep, and see if you can't retrieve the loose puck.
Got to work quick.
Yep.
Henrik facing off against Taves. A win for Chicago just might do it. Winger win. Daniel puts it in. Kessler on the forecheck. Taves gets to it first. Canucks keep it onside, but Adia takes it away, and that will do it as he flips the puck out. Time ticks down, and a third period comeback for Chicago. 2 goals, 9 seconds apart as they rally to beat the Canucks 2-1 in Vancouver.
That was a well-played hockey game.
Very good.
You know, Chicago did everything right. All the little things. They found that urgency, and third stepped it up. And Vancouver, I'll tell you, they played a heck of a game the last 8 or 9 minutes. They have to take some positives out of this. I know it's always frustrating when you give up 2 in 9 seconds, but that was a good effort. Yeah,
just the 1 goal to show for it. That's been a theme lately. Yep. Canucks going to be frustrated with that and the loss as they had the lead going into the third, but third period goals by Andrew Shaw and Marcus Kruger, 9 seconds apart, provide the winning margin. Chicago 2, Vancouver 1 as we go back to Studio 42 and Ron MacLean.